We're joined now, I'm pleased to say, by Emily Thornberry of the Labour Party. Thank you for being with us.
Pleasure.
Keen, obviously, to talk about the local elections, but first, we need to get your reaction, of course, to the news from Durham Police that they are going to be investigating the event that took place, a campaigning event that Keir Starmer was at, to see whether any COVID-19 rules were broken. It's not a great look for Labour, is it?
Well, look, we'll answer whatever questions are put to us and we'll do everything that we can to help. But we're completely confident that no rules have been broken. So it's fine if they want to. And I appreciate they've been put under a lot of pressure. There's lots of people who've been campaigning for the police to open this investigation. Lots of Conservative MPs have been asking. Lots of the Conservative supporting newspapers have been making a big fuss about it. If they're opening it again, that's fine. We will answer questions.
Keir Starmer has been very vocal in calling for both Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak to resign after they were found in breach of the COVID-19 rules. If he's found in breach of them, he's going to have to go, isn't he?
Let's look at it. Let's look at what this is about. You know, what was happening in number 10 was organised breaking of the rules. It was done in advance. Sue Gray has talked about that. You know, the fact that there was this kind of, let's think about this. How can we get around the rules? What can we do? You know, events that were not associated with work. And that, I think, is a clear breach, you know, of what is going on. But, you know, as I say, we are confident that there have not been any breaches of the rules as far as we're concerned.
I understand you're confident there's no
breach.
breach.
It's a different situation.
I'm not making any comparison. I'm just saying that Keir Starmer has called on
Boris
Johnson and Rishi Sunak to resign because they were found in breach of the rules. If he's been found in breach of the rules, it would be untenable for him to stay on.
Listen, I'm approaching this being completely confident that he hasn't broken the rules. So, I mean, there's no point in...
That's what Rishi Sunak thought as well,
no, yeah, but there's no point in kind of commenting on hypotheticals, you know, what the police may or may not conclude. You know, I'm confident that the rules haven't been broken. The police will come to that conclusion. That's the end of it, really.
It's not an unreasonable hypothetical when the police have literally said they are reopening an investigation into whether the rules were broken.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I also understand that they've been put under a great deal of pressure and we are confident that the rules haven't been broken, so it really is the end of the story.
Emily, I'll just come in on that.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer was very clear in the Commons, as were all of you, that it must be clear to the public that there can't be one rule for one group of people and another rule for everyone else.
Of course,
his position cannot be tenable.
But there's not. Of course, and if there has been, you know, deliberate breaking of the rules, you know, and coming into Parliament and lying about it, then clearly. But these are not comparable. You know, Keir has not broken the rules. The Prime Minister has done consistently and deliberately and lied about it.
Police, his position's untenable.
But he's not going to get one.
But he might. He's been investigated.
He's not going to get one because he hasn't broken the rules. I'm sorry to be boring about this, but, you know, we are completely confident about this.
But you acknowledge that that could become an issue, given that he's now under investigation.
Do you want to acknowledge that he hasn't broken the rules? Because that's what my position is that he's not broken the rules, and, you know, and that's that. You know, let's see what happens next. But we are completely confident that he hasn't broken the rules. And, you know, this was investigated a long time ago. Then Conservative newspapers, Conservative MPs started campaigning about it because of the elections were coming up in order to try to divert people. The Durham Police have been put under pressure. They've reopened the investigation. That's fine. Keir will answer questions. We will all answer questions, but we haven't broken the rules.
They actually reopened the investigation because they say significant new evidence has come to light. You're saying it's purely political. They're saying they have new evidence that has prompted them to reopen.
Cool. If there's new evidence, then, you know, and there's questions to be answered, you know, we will answer the questions and we will do everything that we can to assist the police. But we know we've not broken the rules.
Okay. Can I ask a little bit about the way it's been handled? Because if you take a step back, and I appreciate, you know, you say that you're confident no rules were broken, but just looking at the communications around this, it does feel like there's been a bit of a drip feed of information. Curry that we weren't aware about, journalists originally being told that Angela Rayner wasn't there, and then being told that, oh, no, sorry, that was a mistake, she was there.
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I think from what I understand, that was a mistake, right? So I think what happened was that journalists did ask one of the press team, and the press team hadn't consulted, and I'm afraid made an assumption, and then, you know, and said that Angela wasn't there. 3 months go by, nobody asked us any other questions. I mean, it's all there online. It's not as though it was being hidden, you know, that Angela was there. And then it comes up again because the Conservatives start campaigning about it.
So wouldn't it have been better if...
But, you know, as soon as they were asked, they went, yeah, she was there. You know, but there had been a mistake made by a press officer, and, you know, and people aren't perfect.
OK.
You know, people make mistakes.
Let's talk a bit about the local elections now, shall we? What do you make of the results? Because it feels like there are some bright spots for Labour, but some areas where perhaps would have been hoping to have done a bit better.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that we haven't got a huge amount of work to do, but I think that if you think about like the morning after or the week after 2019, how bad it was, how people were saying to us it was pretty much the end of the Labour Party. We weren't ever going to get back on our feet again. This shows that we have. We have got back on our feet again. And of the presentations that we've had and the discussions that we've had in the Shadow Cabinet, this is definitely at the top end of what we were hoping was going to happen. And, you know, and of course we still have a mountain to climb, and we're not pretending that we don't. But if you look at, you know, the way in which we have, you know, the results that we've had from Cumberland down to Southampton to, you know, to the suburbs of London, to the extraordinary results in central London, we're in play. And of course we still have to work in the next couple of years, but we're back, and you know, and you know, we're on the right path to becoming the next government.
On the path, but you're not.
We're not there, no, of course not. But I mean, look how far we've come, for heaven's sake. I mean, look how far we've come.
Because, you know, if you listen to, you know, part of the people in the Labour Party, they have been, you know, saying that Jeremy Corbyn was the complete low point, which, you know, if these are the worst election results since 1935, you can see why. And yet you're now saying, oh, look, the 2018 local elections, which he fought, were actually a high watermark. I mean, shouldn't you be trying to be doing a bit better than him?
No. So, listen, the results, for example, in London were the worst for the Conservatives ever. Right, in 2018, it was a terrible result for them, and we had done well. Wait a minute, I'm just no. But I mean, I'm like, you've asked me about this, so I'm about to acknowledge, right? Worst results for the Conservatives ever. You know, best results for Labour for 50 years in London, and we've done even better. You know, so I mean, it's a patchy result, but you know, that's kind of one thing to acknowledge. But what we need to be doing is we need to be making sure that we get more seats than the disaster of 2019. So the question is, where are we doing well? So we're doing well in Cumberland. There are 3 marginal seats there. There are 2 marginal seats in Southampton. If you look at where the swing has happened and you were to move that across the whole of that marginal seat, we would make another 13, 14 seats. Now, that's not enough. We're 80 seats behind, but it shows that we're on the right road.
Are you really hoping, to be honest, to be able to ride on the back of the Liberal Democrats a bit? If they manage to replicate this performance in the South, it could be them that oust the Conservatives for power, really?
I think that things have been extremely unsettled over the last few years. We have never seen politics like this. We had a general election in 2019 that was about Brexit. You know, largely about that. And I think we've had parties come and go. We've had the Brexit Party, we've had UKIP. You know, the voters are moving around. And we need to get into a settled pattern. And the next election will be the general election, where people will need to make a decision about which government they want, what national government they want. And they're looking, and what we've seen overnight is that they are fed up with this lot. They are fed up with this government, with their lies and so on. Now, they haven't yet. And we haven't yet persuaded them, and last night wouldn't have been the occasion to do it. The next election has to be the one in which we step up and we get people's trust.
Very quickly, if Sinn Féin are the largest party, should there be a border poll in Northern Ireland? What's Labour's position?
Our position is that it has to be led entirely by the Good Friday Agreement, and it's not for us as a political party to try to change that agreement. You know, we just go on what the rules are.
Thank you very much, Emily Thornberry.